today what we're doing is we're going to be going over just how to sell deals for the most. So just to give you guys a little bit of background, we are selling all of our deals on MLS. Well, not all of them, but probably about 95%. And so that's really what we're working on. So a couple of different things we're going to go over. Sorry, I pressed my golf swing over here in the back in the intro. But what we're going to be going over is those 5 things down below that we kind of talked about: is packaging, pricing, managing seller expectations, getting buyers to make offers, and also just accepting offers with due diligence. That last one's super key. A lot of people have never done that before, and it's going to allow your buyers to give you a better offer, potentially have more targeted repair numbers, and come up and just feel more comfortable with what they're getting into. So a couple things that we're going to talk about is the importance of how to have success in this downturn. So one of the things that's probably dawned on me more than any that I've learned just in the last couple months, just through the change, maybe it's last 4 months, is that literally to have success when we're going down in a market is you just have to be better. At the end of the day, is everything you would do on your own is you just have to do it as good as you do it on your own with other people doing it. And that's hard because, for example, just for us, before I get into this, it's one of the things that we had going on is we have a lot of we had some problems come up, and they're all problems that I was 8 months ago, a year ago, I'm like, hey, we need to do this, guys, to my directors, to whatever. And they're like, yeah, we should. And they'd work on it, and they do it maybe a little bit of the way or not do it at all. Cause maybe I didn't make it as important as it should have been. And I didn't follow through and hold any accountability. And then lo and behold, when the market starts to crash, those cracks become craters or, ravines or whatever you want to call it. And they are obviously glaring. And it would have only been solved had we just been better, a year ago. So that's all it is right now. It's just simply every single time there's a mistake, just let's never let it happen again. How can we build stronger, scale better is honestly what we're trying to do. So anyways, there's another thing that I want to go into. It's going to be a bonus at the end. It's about finding people if you're not listing on MLS, because there's a few things that we've been doing where we've been able to find retail buyers who would be on the MLS, but they aren't actually, you're not actually listing it. So we'll go over how to do that and what we're doing. So kind of the conversation we're having. So first off is packaging. So this is really super critical. Probably one of the most important things that you can do, especially if you're listing on the MLS. If you're giving to your buyers off market, if you're giving to whoever it is you got to give them good pictures. So there was a statistic, it was the investor machine guy or investor lift guy. Sorry. Robert Winsley. He said that things with videos and pictures, I believe is what he said, is they sold twice as good or twice. I don't know how he came up with that word, but that's what he somehow said in the CG presentation. So having over 40 pictures, having video walkthroughs, having all these things like the Matterports, all these things on the MLS, make a big difference. Now, if you're selling to flippers and stuff, having video walkthroughs of everything, super critical. I'm going to pull up a listing we actually have just to show you guys the quality of what we're working with. So I'm just going to pull through this. I'm just going to do this listing review and kind of let you guys see what we're putting out there. And it's the same thing we're sending out to all of our buyers. So this is an example. So this house, we actually, there was one that went on the market that was the same as ours for 10K less, and we sold it for 10K more than what the other guys were asking. So this is the front picture. So nice, big, looks good. Actually, oh wait, I'm sharing the wrong tab. Oh guys, here we go. So I'm on this picture. So this is the house. You can look at it. It's on Zillow. We're under contract. We sold it for, I believe, 10K more than this other listing that was up. And it was the same condition. Maybe theirs a little bit better, ours a little bit better. It's right around the same, perfect comp. So anyways, here's the front picture, nice and square. We got this big living room picture. And again, this is virtually staged. We did this for $16 as virtually staging picture. It's an absolute game changer. We had one listing, just to give you an idea, we were getting 1 or 2 people coming in every once in a while. And then we virtually staged it, and we were getting 6 people coming in, walking the property and doing all that. So the virtual staging is huge. People love it. It looks great. They come in here, they make the lights brighter, they edit it all up. These kitchen tables, these are virtually staged. You see in the bottom right. Look at the other side of the living room. Look how big it looks. Just the picture is that wide angle picture. Same thing with the master. We got the master. nice and open and everything there. This is another just foyer shot, master again from another angle, foyer, yada yada yada. And also just the good tour of the house. Like look at all these wide angle pictures. They're up high, they're all this, they're all that. And I could pull up like, let me just pull up like a picture of like another one. Um, just like one I got sent today from someone else. So here, I'm gonna show this other one. And this is just an example of what most wholesaler pictures look like. So this is just the front. This is this. This is the kitchen. This is the kitchen. And like people will post this or share this out. Like this looks horrible. Like, and I'm not like roasting the guy who did this because like it is what it is. But man, like if you saw this versus seeing this, what are you gonna go and look at? Even if you're a flipper, like this just looks way more appetizing. Your creative juices are way flowing. So, anyways, get those pictures dialed in. Go in there, get some professional pictures. Teach your guys how to make it look like that. Buy a camera with a wide angle lens. Do that whole package. So that's a big. That's number one. Next one, since we're on this, let me make sure we're on the right screen here. All right, perfect. We're here. So next thing is we got this. This bio, this description, whatever it is. So go to the local comp you have on MLS. Take that local comp, exact property. Maybe it's even not even the area. Just take that comp. It could be any location. We'll throw comp out of the house. Same house, same repairs. Just copy their like if it's sold and it looks like it's sold for market value, what you deem to be market value, then just copy it. Just take it, copy it, make it your own. So like for this, like charming traditional 4-bedroom, blah, 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 imagination, the style, your taste. The big one right here for the MLS is big is seller credits are available. If you don't know how seller credits work, you need to go and watch a video on it. I can drop a video. So if you want to see it, just comment below. Just say like seller credits below, and I will make sure you get the link to the video that I'm talking about. But it teaches you exactly how rate buy downs work. You can get someone's loan dropped roughly between $200 to $700 a month on their loan by giving seller credits to where they do a rate buy down. So that's a big one. Also, what it does is seller credits allow your buyer to have more cash at closing. So like, let's say they want to do repairs and they're like, I don't have the cash to do it. Well, hey, what if we increase the purchase price 10K and give you 10K in credits? Then, they net $8,000 more credit, 20% down, right? They net 8,000 more in credits and cash. They less have to bring to closing. So instead of 40,000 down, they put 32,000 down. Now they got that 8K to put towards, painting one of the rooms or redoing the flooring or making the bathroom better, or whatever it is. And that has gone a long ways. So anyways, that's a big one. You can read the rest of this if you wanted to pause it, go to the address, look it up, do whatever you guys want. So that's big. That is huge. That is huge. That is huge. The other side of the description and sending deals out, and I know this is on the MLS, but when you're sending deals out and you're talking to your buyers, you need to know exactly who you're trying to sell this house to. Because if you have a perfect rental, you need to one, underwrite like a rental. You need to two, run numbers like it's a rental. And three, you need to be like, hey, landlords, this is the perfect property for you. It's turnkey, it cash flows, and then list all the great things about it. Then when you talk to them, it's like, hey, this thing makes perfect sense. And they're like, well, what's the catch? And like, honestly, the catch is like, it just needs, it just needs this, it just needs that in 5 years. And like, you're good. But other than that, it's perfect. The numbers all made sense. I underwrote it like this and yada, yada, yada. What do you think? And then they know that you did your numbers the right way. So anyways, that's with pricing coming up and listing and package. That's just packaging your property. So make sure you're using the language for who actually is going to respond. This is a family. This is going to be a family house. Someone's going to live there. And we're talking about a charming traditional 4-bedroom, 3-bath, single family home. Bring your imagination. I mean, I can't even read it all. I can barely read, but you get what I'm saying. All right, next, let's share this screen. All right, so we're back. So we did packaging, super simple, super important. The pictures, the description, and the price. Those are really, the price could be a part of packaging because the only things you can really do with the property on the MLS. And now if you're building a buyer's list, it's different, but on the MLS, the only things you can control are the pictures that they see, the description that is there, and the price. Those are the only three things. So if you nail in all three of those, then you're going to have a good chance of getting offers and selling deals. So, all right, number two, pricing. So what we do is we price to sell properties in 15 days on market. So if I go over here to this property, and I look, I do think it took a little bit longer for this one because we fell out of contract once at right before the day before closing. But this one took 40 days. But if we go to our median days on our dashboard, it is 16 days. I looked at it this morning. It might have been 16.5, but it's 16 days for us to when we list it to when we buy it. And the biggest thing right now, and the going down into this recession, is being able to speed up your cash conversion cycle. So we're selling deals in the MLS in about 40 to 45 days on median or on average. Some are a little bit longer, some are a little bit less because we sell them to cash buyers. But that is going to be super important. And a couple ways you can do that is one, by getting pictures the next day when you lock up a contract virtually. Then get on the MLS, price it for 15 days. And the way we're doing that is we're mainly looking at active comps. So if there's, let's just say that, you look at the sold comps in the last 30, 60 days and you're like, okay, this thing's definitely worth 300. That's what I come to. I know it's going to be, I know 300 is what it's worth. But then you look at active and you see that there's 2, 3, 0, whatever it is. Let's just say there's two houses that are sitting there, comparable properties to you in a mile radius. And you're like, oh, shoot, these are both sitting here and they're both listed at 300 and they've been sitting here for 40 days. Let's call it 40 days, 30 days, whatever it is. And my house is not as good as theirs. Or maybe it is as good as theirs, but it's like, I need to sell in 15 days. These have been here for 40. So I'm going to price my property at like 275 or 280. So I know that I can get it sold and I get it done. And it depends. Like if it's the same level property, I'm going to price it like 285. But if it's a little bit worse, then I'm going to price it like 275 so I can make sure that I get people out there and just have the best pictures possible. And then you'll be guaranteed to get people out there, get it sold, and you'll sell it for pretty much a premium compared to anyone else. So that's the thing. Speed, get people out there. Because then what you can do is you can sell the sweat equity play. Sell the, hey, if your client's looking to do a little bit of work, this play is perfect for them. They put $10,000 of work in there, $5,000 of work in there over the next couple of years. This thing is going to be worth, they're going to have 40, 50K of equity in this property. And they haven't done anything. They just bought well. This is the deal of a lifetime for them. You're not going to sell them like that hard, but you're going to tell them like those exact things. Like you're literally telling them this is a sweat equity play. You're going to have a lot of potential in this. This is something your client wants. And we're going to talk about this too down here in section 4. But this is why it's important to do this in order to sell deals quick and move them on MLS, because you have a seller to maintain your promise to. So other thing is underwrite your end buyer. I know this is kind of geared towards MLS, but if you're not listing on MLS, I already said package it for your end buyer, is underwrite like your end buyer. Go talk to your local flipper, talk to your local landlord. All these people, get 3, 4, 5, 6 scenarios of people who that are doing the business and say, hey man, how do you underwrite your deals? Build a relationship with them so you can ask them these kind of things. Send them deals. What would you be like? How would you underwrite this one? Where would you be? I have a buddy, Vince in Atlanta, who they flip a lot. So I just asked him the other day, I was like, hey bro, with the market changing, like how are you guys underwriting your ARVs and doing this? He said they're taking 10% off ARV when they're purchasing. And then they're wanting a 40K spread and they are looking to take out repairs. And that's kind of how they're underwriting. There's a bunch of different strategies. So you just got to ask your local guy and that's it. So next up is talk to people who are buying and then price just like them. I mean, just the same thing. It's like if you know how 5 people are underwriting, put it in the, one, try to find, if you got 2 guys who are way higher than everyone else and you got 1 dude who's way lower, probably don't send the way lower guy, send it to the way higher guy. So yeah, basically that's it. Number 3, manage seller expectations. Let's get this one going. So this is going to be super important moving forward. I'm actually going to talk about this one fourth because I think that I'm going to talk to this one actually after 5, because I think that this one's probably more important to talk about after we get the offer. Actually, no, screw it. We'll talk about it right now. So managing seller expectations. So this is a big one, is having a good intro call, walking the seller through, like when you get a lead on Dispositions, it should be like a new lead. You need to walk them through exactly how the situation, how the deal is going to unfold and what are the steps. Pretty much, you're telling them all the things, you're confirming condition, you're confirming the things from acquisitions that got told. You're setting up pictures, you're setting expectations for how walkthroughs are going to go. Hey, I need you to communicate with me very well. If I call you, I need you to call me back And if you don't answer, what do I do? What do I do? What are my next steps? I also let them know when I call you, it's only going to be for an important reason. I'm not just calling you to chat. I'm calling you so I can get your house sold and get this deal done for you. That's my job. So I need your help. Setting the stage with them, letting them know very clearly what's happening, letting them know who's coming out to their property, who's going to be there, what are they doing there, yada yada yada. So they feel good. And then what we do is after we set the intro call, we set the stage. We'll also ask them how soon can they move the date up? What do they need moving the property out? Like confirm vacancy. That's all done on the intro call. So, for us, we lock it up virtually. Then what we do is we go get pictures. We set that up after the intro call. Then once we get the pictures, this is when we have what we call the realignment calls. And we're having the realignment calls. There are multiple calls throughout the process. So let's say that we get pictures and the property needs more work than we anticipated. That's pretty normal if you're wholesaling and not locking it up in person. I would say that's 9 out of 10 times what happens. So we always pretty much have this conversation, hey, we went out there, we got some pictures, and honestly, like, the property seemed to be in a little bit worse condition than we initially anticipated. Like I see like, a tree growing in the pool. I'm saying that because this is one we have. Like, there's the cabinets, like there's no doors on any of them. They're beat up, and like basically the floors are messed up and gonna all need to be replaced. And the water was flooded in the basement. Like, I mean, like it just honestly is a lot worse than what we were anticipating. And just like let them talk and talk about what happened. Can you tell me about this? Can you tell me about that? Go deeper. Hey, there's a water stain on the ceiling. Is there any active leaks there? Knowing this information, because people are going to ask. People are going to ask, how old is the HVAC? How old is the roof? Know this information. Hey, there's water stains on the roof. Is there an active leak? You need to know this. You need to be informed. And being informed means you're going to have a better chance of selling this because you're trusted. If you're not trusted, people are going to say, I don't want to buy from this clown. So that's what we're doing. And we're doing that every single time we get pictures, as well as every single time we go out to the property. So that's the picture one. When we go out to the property, we're telling them the same feedback. Hey, look, here's the feedback we got. The rooms are small. It definitely just, we're confirming, hey, look, the feedback we're getting from our contractors and our retail investors is that it just needs, the repairs number we're coming in at, it's a lot closer, like 65 or 70,000. And we, like we said, we were initially anticipating like, 30 or 40,000 on our repairs, and just like see what they have to say. And then, hey, look, they're like, you're lying to me, blah, blah, blah. Hey, what we're going to do is we're just going to keep sending out our retail investors and our contractors and some of our other partners out there. And like, I think we can do this. I think we can maybe get this done for you at the price. It's going to be tough, but I just need to be able to send this to as many people as possible. And just having this stage set with them to where they know this is going to be challenging. It's not going to be easy. And if you feel like it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be realistic, it's just to tell them, hey, look, I don't know if it's going to be realistic for us to be able to get, 200. I'm just letting you know that. And then see what they say. It's like, hey, just keep sending people out there like you told me. And then what happens next is now you set their expectations low, you've managed them right. So then when you come in after getting your 3 offers for your property that you've done, 2, 3 offers, and you know what market value is, now all you got to do is you just tell them, hey, like after sending a bunch of people out there, we've sent like 6, 7 people out there at this point in time. I mean, yeah, we're not going to be able to be at that 230. We're going to have to be at 200 or whatever the number is that you have the price reduce them down to. And that's exactly how you're doing it. And you're having the conversation with them to get them to overcome other objections and, basically to say, here's why, here's what's going on, support your reason, all that kind of good stuff. So anyways, that is the seller aspect of all of this. But in order to do the seller aspect, you have to stick to the macro strategy of Dispo right now, which is to just get offers. To just get offers. I'm getting a phone call from Ryan. Oh, this was tomorrow. I'm doing this tonight for some reason. Oh gosh, that's funny. Well, some people are on here. Thanks for showing up. Anyways, we're doing this anyways. We'll repost it tomorrow. I'll tag everyone in there. That's freaking funny. My bad, guys. But anyways, so we'll go to the next part. All right, so the next part is getting buyers to make the offer. And this is one of the harder parts. And I'm still between the fact of will people make offers regardless or not? But I would say that you definitely influence them making offers. Now, if the property is absolute trash and it's priced wrong, it's going to be much, much harder. You're going to need way more people to go to the property in order to get an offer. That's why days on market are higher for some properties versus others. So anyways, the big number one that we were seeing is just answering the phone when it rings. Like we were answering like 30-40% of inbound calls. Now we're answering like 80. So just doing something like that, you're going to get more leads, you're going to get more deals, you're going to sell more deals, and you're going to sell them for more because more people are going to make offers, and more people are going to see the property. Next is finding the buyer's objection. So I can't tell you how many times we talk to people and they're like, yeah, we're not really interested. And hey, what has your buyer not really interested on this property? And just like the same thing you would have with a seller, just talk to them, figure out what's going on, figure out how you can overcome that. And it's pretty straightforward usually. Usually it's like, hey, I wish it was more move-in ready, or hey, the numbers don't make sense, or hey, like what would make that, like what would it make sense for you? Like what numbers would make sense for you, or what were you hoping repairs would be done to the property? And then you can kind of go through like, can we get a GC out there, one of our vetted general contractors out there to make this a really turnkey solution for your client, so he can get that $30,000-$40,000 of sweat equity that it's looking like he might would be able to get if he did the carpet and the paint. Would that be something they're interested in? It takes like 2 or 3 days for them to do it, and then get them to come back to you. These people will do that. These people will do it if you offer them credits. Like, hey, look, it's too much cash. We don't have the cash to do repairs. Well, what if we offer you some credits like closing? That way you don't have to come to the table with as much cash. And it's like, you're just working through why they don't want to make an offer. Hey, what world would you even make an offer? Is there any type of situation where you'd make an offer? I'd make an offer if it was like 200,000. Well, maybe that's an offer that you're going to have to come back to later at one point. So just throwing stuff out there. It's not as easy. You'll find out where people land. If you're working with agents, is just getting the agent on your side. And this is like kind of like what I said just a minute ago before, like about the general contractor thing, is you're trying to make them feel like a genius. So like, it's not perfectly easy, but you're trying to figure out like, hey, I want to figure out how to make this work for you and your client. How can we make this, like, here's a solution that I could see where it could make this a really good deal for you and your client, to where your client gets what they want. They get, you got them a really good deal where they have a lot of equity, where you make them fulfill their goal, whatever it is. And so you look like a great buyer's agent because you negotiate a good deal and you got them what they want. So that's that. Building strong rapport with them as well. So another last one is follow up. So this one is super important because they'll tell you, hey, I'm gonna go talk to my client, or hey, I'm gonna go run my numbers, and then they'll never come back to you. But if you call them when you lead the conversation, hey, when will you be done running your numbers? Hey, when are you gonna talk to your client? Okay, you're gonna be done at 2. Okay, well, so if I give you a call like 2:15, like you should be available. Okay, great. So I'll give you a call around 2:15. We can talk about it. Call them at 2:15. They don't answer. Call them at 2:30. They don't answer. Call them at 3. And eventually they'll answer. And then you'll talk to them. Then you'll find out more objections, and you'll be able to handle those. And it's an endless cycle. And like basically, if we really to sum it up, it's just work harder. So last one before the bonus is.
What are you doing here?
Gino hopped in here. Well, let's keep going right here. All right, I got distracted for a second.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, Gino's over here.
Me, guys.
He's over here. I don't know what he's doing right now.
Look for my earphones.
You want to come in here, bro? Here, come in here.
What are we doing?
We're giving a presentation on how to seal deals.
My bad, guys. Forgive me. We got to meet up in 30 minutes.
Yeah, we do. I'm ready in 15.
Keep giving that value.
Yes, sir. All right. So I'm actually at Gino's house right now because I just got back from South America. I needed a place to live for a couple of days because I'm still homeless right now. So, or my address is just Airbnb. Anyways, so let's get into accept offers with due diligence. So hopefully you guys are getting some value right now. If you guys are, just please just let me know below. Let me know what questions you have as well so far. If you'd like me to dive into anything deeper, I do have a hard cut at like around 6:15, so 15 more minutes or so. But anyways, let's get into how to accept offers with due diligence. So one, the reason why this is important is if you're selling on the MLS, you're not going to sell any deals without due diligence almost at all. I think we've sold one out of, I don't know, 60 or 70 or so recently that have been like since we've been doing this in like the downturn. I guess it's been like out of like 40 since the downturn, but since the rates changed, and that's one, literally uno. So you're going to sell it with a DD. And the best thing you can do is shorten the due diligence. But the reason why we need DD is because it makes people feel much more comfortable in what they're actually getting into. Because a lot of these people are a little bit less sophisticated. They are a little bit less aware of like all the exact details. They're not like running their numbers. Like they're like, oh yeah, that takes, it's $20,000. Okay, this is like five. Okay, yeah, 25. I'm good there. I got a little buffer, all that. No, they need to go down. They need to run it in a spreadsheet, and it takes them a little bit of time. They need to get an inspection because they think inspectors know everything, and they need to do all these different things. So that is why it's important to do due diligence. But here are the things you need to do internally to make sure you're putting yourself in a good situation when you're selling with due diligence. Because most of the time, I'm gonna be honest, most of the time, if you do these things, like probably I'd say 4 out of 5, maybe 5 out of 6, a little bit more than 80%. People are making it through due diligence with us, and they're not having anything on the back end. They just want to make sure they feel good. So here's what we do: shorten due diligence. Most people are going to come in and hit you with 7 days DD. So the basic way to talk this down is, hey, if you don't mind me asking, what are you going to be doing during what's your client going to be doing during their due diligence? Oh, they're just gonna be doing an inspection. Okay, so they're just doing an inspection, no appraisals or anything like that. Okay, yeah, correct. Okay, how long does it take for you to schedule an inspector and get him out there, and for him to get the report back to you? Oh, it takes him, like a day to get out there, and I'll contact him like right after this call or once we get the contract signed. So, you know, I guess what, maybe I'm gonna say we get that signed tonight or tomorrow, then maybe a day. So he's out there done with the report 2 days. Okay, so it takes him 2 days, and then like what your client needs maybe like a day to just review the inspection and then to run his numbers and over that. Yeah, yeah, that sounds good to me. That seems right. Okay, so we could probably do a 3-day due diligence then. Yeah, yeah, okay. Every time. It's so that's one. If they are dead set on like the objection that we get a lot is like, well, what happens when the inspector can't get out there within the time that we said? Hey, no worries, that happens. I completely get it. If he can't get out there when you ask him, and he can't get out there in the day like we talked about, no big deal. If it's 2 days, 3 days, just let me know. We can be flexible. We'll rewrite a little due diligence extension, and we'll extend it out. It's no worries. But I just would feel much more comfortable if we were able to stick and keep things quick, just for our seller. Okay, great. Perfect. Boom. Vetting your buyer. So, what does this mean really is like you're kind of going to run this through during the shortening of due diligence is like, hey, look, I know they're going to be going through due diligence. You said they're going to be getting an inspection on that day that your client is going to be, rerunning his numbers, looking at the inspection. Like, what would they be looking for in order to maybe back out of the agreement? Okay, they want to look this, they want to see this, they want to see that. And then like if none of them are like flags for the property, or if it's like I just want to confirm like that this actually needs to be repaired and this is all that there is. Other than that, like we're good. Like, if we saw extra things, like we would just want to, probably just come back and like ask for some credits or something to do some of the repairs or whatever it is. If everything checks out and it's exactly how we think, then we're good to go. If in some people will be like, yeah, if anything over like paint or fixtures, like we're gonna back out. We're not looking for anything more than that. So if the freaking HVAC is on its last leg and it doesn't even run, and like they're probably not gonna be there. If there's like foundation crack, like these major things, like there's no way they're gonna do it. So you'd have to address that right there. And then also just like, okay, great. So it sounds like your client's pretty aware that there might be some repairs that need to be done, and they're comfortable with that, just to get the sweat equity in return. Again, selling the dream at all times, and that's really it. So once you do that, you have that conversation, you have aligned, you've set some good expectations of what's going to go on. The last part is just increasing EMD. And this one's just pretty simple, just so you are more secure. We had someone back out literally the day of closing because property taxes went up because they couldn't approve for a loan. So property taxes going up 5K and made them not approve for the loan, which backed out at the day of closing. But we got 5K for it. So it is what it is. And we found another buyer a couple days later. But so make sure you tell them that it is a $5,000 earnest money. If it's more expensive property than that, then definitely keep it above 1%. We like to keep it 5K minimum and go through there. And a lot of times we get the objection of like, we're tight on cash. Obviously, earnest money goes towards your cash coming in at closing, so hit them with that. And that's pretty much it. So those are the main big things that I wanted to hit on. Now we got some questions over here. I'm going to read them. So let's see. Mikey Hughes. Let's see. Chandler went rogue on a day early. Yeah, that's facts. I should probably read. Honestly, when Ryan sends me texts, I don't always read them perfectly. So, but yeah, okay. So some people want to see the dispo process. So we'll get that video out to you guys. If that's the case, again, just comment. Comment. I think it was 25K. Just comment 25K right now. If you want the dispo video for the process. But I'm gonna give one last gem right here, and this is honestly has worked pretty well. There's two things, and one Gino has talked about a lot on his YouTube, which is like finding the buyers who have bought 2 properties in the last like 8 months. That's a really good way. I do think that works very well, especially if you don't have access to the MLS or to these other, to listing on MLS. If you don't have access to listing on MLS, send me your deal and I will make sure we can come and renegotiate. If you can't sell it, of course, like we'll renegotiate access, renegotiate, get them to sign the contract, and we'll get it on the MLS and teach you how to do it. So that's one thing. So send me your deal, and I'll underwrite it, look at it. I think Mikey, I do believe, no, it wasn't Mikey, it was someone else. Someone sent me a deal, and I gotta look at it. But we're doing it for a guy right now. He couldn't sell it, and it looks like we're gonna be able to do. I mean, it looks like it should be a pretty much like around a 50, 60K deal that we're able to make from nothing. So that should be pretty good for him. But I do want to pull this up real fast. I'm going to go into the MLS real quick. So you guys can see my screen now at this point. So I did 180 days sold. Normally I'd do like 90 when I'm running comps or whatever. Actually, I'm going to do it because I can't truly tell what's going on over here. Should do 80. Anyways, so this is a pretty decent like comparable property. And what I would do, and just ignore like everything that I've talked about so far because I clearly am lost my mind right now. But anyways, so just go here, find pendings, find actives. Basically, when we're going through our underwriting stage, what we're doing is we're really quickly calling all the active comps that are in the area, asking them, hey, I have a property that's pretty similar to yours, and I just didn't want to undercut you on pricing. I was going to take it live, or whatever. I have an off market property, and I was looking to take it live on MLS. I just didn't want to undercut you. Did you have were you getting some good feedback at your price point for your property? And like, if they say yes, like, okay, then you're in the right zone. If they say no, then you probably want to list lower and like be like, oh, man, like I have the property, it needs a little bit of work. Just tell them about it and see what they say. They might give you some good feedback. I was looking to find out, if I didn't have to take it live, did you have anyone who was looking to maybe purchase a property like that one that maybe you didn't accept an offer for, or maybe like they just passed on it for a certain reason, but they could fit mine. Like it just doesn't need as much work, or maybe it's like it needs a little bit more work, or we're a little bit lower, or whatever it is, and it's off market right now. And just kind of tell them like they might say, I don't know. Just be like, okay, well, or I might have someone, or I don't know anyone. Then just tell them like, hey, look, what we normally do is, people just send it to a lot of the people who made offers on their previous properties, or who they didn't accept. It was other offers or whatever, and basically just go and show this to that buyer's agent or whoever, and you can maybe work out a commission agreement. Or if they're not represented and you have their contact, you can represent them, and we'll pay you a commission as well. And we're getting people sending us offers and doing things that way. So that's a way you can sell properties for retail. And I hope I explained that well, because I got a little flustered. I couldn't find the actual property. I think he took it down because it was right here. But anyways, let me know if that was good for you guys. Did that make sense? If I can get a comment, just like a thumbs up or something, that'd be ideal. If not, I can totally explain it again. I'm just gonna assume that it was probably good. But anyways, that is the most of what we have going on. If you don't know how to get the property on MLS, get it on MLS. If you do already have it, this is a great video for you to see exactly how we're doing it, and how you guys can do better. So again, recommendation is level up your and I'll send the sheet as well if you guys want it. One more view of this sheet is better packaging. Get those pictures, get those descriptions dialed in, and then again, present it as if you're talking to your end buyer. This is a marketing tip. This is not a dispo tip. It's a marketing tip. Pricing. Price it to sell quick, especially in the MLS. Beat your competition. Again, price it like you're an end buyer. Talk to them about the pricing like it's your end buyer and what they would know. Like if they're looking for cap rates, if they're looking for, a certain target percentage of their, earnings, like for a flipper, like are they looking for 40K? Are they looking for 50K? Are they looking for 20%? What are they looking for? How are they taking off their ARV? Asking these questions. Manage your seller expectations so they know what's going to happen. They know what part of the process they're in. So if you do happen to get an offer, because again, remember, the actual macro strategy of what we're doing here is to get 3 offers and find out what market value is, and then let the seller know what market value is so we can do the deal together. And if that means we got to get a price reduction, that means we got to get a price reduction. If it doesn't, great, we can do it together. So that's that. So make sure you're having good communication, going through all that stuff. Number 4, answer the phone, find the buyer's objections, get the agents on your side, sweet talk them, have creative strategies for how, because again, you got to teach sometimes you got to teach agents how to present things to their clients because they don't know. They don't do this as much. They might do one deal a month. They might do one deal a year. Who knows what amount of volume they're doing. And we're the professionals. We got to be the educators for some of these people and make them know how to sound very intelligent and also have the goods for their client and look like a genius so they can get more referrals. 5 is also follow up too. Don't forget that one. 5 is to accept offers with due diligence. This is a super big one. You're gonna have to probably start doing it. I'm sure you're starting to get some things. We're even finding people from Facebook and our buyers list that want due diligence now. And this is exactly what you need to do is shorten that to DD. Again, super simple logic. No one can argue with it. Vetting your buyer. Very important questions right here to ask. This is the number one. Just you've got to make sure you ask this one, and then increasing that DD. Those are the big ones. Let me know if you guys have any questions below. Feel free. You know where to get me. Leave me in the comments. Tag me there. And yeah, appreciate you guys listening. So I will see you guys next week. Sorry I'm a day early. Everyone who didn't see this tomorrow, watch the recording and say like I'm an idiot or something in the comments. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.